मेरे host मेरे को Washington घुमा रहे हैं. Like he is just taking me around the city, and we are going to a place called the Monument, which from where like it's just in front of the Capitol. You can see the Capitol. Oh, here is it? It's the Capitol. Yeah. So Monument is also very close from here, and he's just driving us. You can see the buildings and the streets of Washington. It's in the morning. It's around 10:30 a.m. It's around 11 a.m. and it's a sunny day out here. And so like we plan to go to the monument and the National Museum of Natural History, American Museum of Natural History. And our host said that he'll come along with us, so we were very happy about that as well. And he has taken a book for himself because he has already visited all these places, so he'll be there with us, but he'll be reading his books and he'll be just spending time in the parks there probably. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Also, we have a very late night bus tonight. We have the bus around 2 a.m. So it was like we were a little scared to walk back that late at night. So our host said that he'll drop us around that time so late. So like we weren't expecting this much on couchsurfing, but this is like when you get something beyond expectations, you just feel very nice about it. Yeah, the streets are really clean out here, and we don't see the city as crowded as New York, which is always so happening. Even if this is the capital area, which I thought would be crowded on a weekend, but as you see, like we barely see 10 or 15 people out here. So quite of a quiet town. Yeah. Okay, see you guys. So we are close to the monument area, and one of the issues that we are facing is to find a parking spot. The car just ahead of us is facing the same issue as well. Also, my host told that the reason it's so quiet in Washington today is that it's a long weekend. Most of the people in the city must have headed out to another city they must be exploring something out there, and that's okay. And so this is a park just in front of the Capitol and behind the monument, and this is the National Air and Space Museum. I visited this yesterday. A lot of people recommended me to visit it, but probably I didn't have that much interest into aerospace stuff, so it was okay to me. And so many cars, even if it's a quiet day, so many cars, we can't find a spot. And then here comes the National Museum of the American Indian, which also had some pretty good reviews on internet, but I think we might not have the time to explore it. Anyway, tough job finding a parking spot. Is it usually the case in Washington?
Yes, it's horrible.
Oh, I would say it's horrible. Okay, so
Yeah, sometimes it's so bad, it's just better to go to a parking garage and pay.
okay.
But
How about parking those lanes?
yeah, let's try over there.
So there are a lot of food trucks out here as well. As you see, most of the trucks that serve ice cream also have a music playing on them, which is like I guess it just attracts kids. It just that is how kids discover that okay, there is an ice cream park out there. And I think that is the botanical garden in of Washington. So yes, we went there yesterday, and it's a separate clip on YouTube that you'll have. Yeah, there are a lot of metro buses and big buses that give you the city tour that are there, that I see in the city today. Yeah, and again a lot of food trucks, all closed. Perhaps it's too early in the morning and nobody comes this early over a weekend. American flag all around the city, mostly close to tourist attraction or the museums.
No, usually, so you're in the area where all the federal buildings are, and all the federal buildings have American flags.
Oh, so my host is saying that we have a lot of federal buildings in this area, and that's why all the federal buildings will have a flag outside of them, and that's why we see so many flags around here. I think we will now find a spot. Actually, people haven't parked that nicely, otherwise there would have been a spot already. Yeah. Oh god, somebody took that spot. We have a spot finally.
Fire hydrant. You can't park in front of those. Something will come.
Yeah. This one?
It's okay. So there, you have to park within a line. Like they give you a line of where you can and cannot park.
Okay.
And if you park outside of that line, then you can get a ticket, or you can get towed.
So, unlike India, if you park at an unauthorized place here in Washington, you get towed or you get a challan. You also get that in India nowadays in most of the places in the cities, but yeah, it's way too strict here in Washington, and that's where, like, I believe, because the fines are way too high, so people generally just abide by the rules. In India, you could just pay some bribe and get over.
That is not the case now. I have paid the ticket.
Okay, that's because of the online challan system, ticketing system. We end up paying challans. Yeah, corruption is getting quite lower with the new Indian government. There are a lot of reforms in India. So we are just circling around the area from the past few minutes to find a parking spot. There are cars ahead of us, which means that even if we find one, these cars are going to find the spot before us. Possibly. Okay. I'll show you some scenes nearby. So this is the National Gallery of Art, and I went there yesterday. You'll see that in a separate video as well. We didn't expect it to be that nice. Even our host told that it's going to be a little boring unless you like art. But then when we entered, Akshay found some spots where he really wanted to go, and because of that we ended up exploring a lot of artwork there. So they have this huge waste box there on the road itself. So how do they collect waste in the city?
So they have, it is there are people that are employed just to pick up the city garbage.
Okay. So it's a door-to-door collection.
No, just in the city.
Okay.
Like down in this area, there are people that are employed just to do that.
Okay.
But in a building, like an apartment building or a commercial building, they have regular days where they pick up the garbage.
Okay.
Like an assigned day.
Okay. So, yes, in India we generate a lot of waste, so we have daily collection, but they have regular days, and like Sunday, on a Sunday someone will come and pick the garbage, and they have some regular schedule based on which they collect garbage here. But the system is very similar to that we have in India as well. So, yeah. Now I start seeing a lot of people. Probably it's the timings of the museums. Which museum is this? So yeah, a lot of cars, more cars than the number of people. That's also because everyone here, even if it's a single person, he'll get out in a car only. There are practically, I don't see any two-wheelers out here in the city. Are there any? There were some fancy bikes though, which I saw yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, outside the window. Hopefully we'll find a parking slot soon. The video is getting too long, so I'll pause. 10 more minutes have passed and we are still circling around the city, around the monument. That is the monument right behind me. Okay, you cannot see. Yeah, you'll be able to see it from here, probably. No. Okay, and my host told me that there's an issue in Washington that if you park, most of the cars here have scratches on them, because if you park on street, someone or the other is going to scratch it and the car is going to have some scratches, which is okay. I don't know what to say about it, but that's bad. It doesn't happen, like most of the people are parking on the streets and that's why it's happening. There's no private parking space normally, even like at least when you're getting out in public you have to park on streets only. Most people do that, even if there are some private garages where you can go and park, but that's paid, so most people prefer parking here only when it's allowed. So yeah, another federal building, Department of Agriculture of United States. What's the flag under the...
This is currently Pride, so it's the month of June is Pride, so it's LGBTQ.
Okay. So that's the LGBTQ flag.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time that those have been flown in federal buildings.
Oh, so in US they are celebrating the Pride month, and that's why under most of the in front of most of the federal buildings, just under the United States flag,
Next to it.
next to the United States flag, they have LGBTQ flag as well, Pride flag as well. And more museums. So Washington is all museums, and history is all about that mostly. It's definitely not as happening as New York when you like in terms of parties or the crowd, but yeah, like they have a lot of tourists here who are interested in history and museums. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
So I was watching Spider-Man yesterday, and that too was in Manhattan. So now I think, so I have watched some series which are all based in New York, which means that I am liking New York more than anything now. Another federal building.
This is the Hirshhorn Museum.
This is which museum?
Hirshhorn?
Okay. Hirshhorn Museum. What is it famous for?
It's just, they just have a lot of rotating exhibits. It's not anything in particular that it's famous for.
Okay. Now we are heading to... We are not heading to anywhere actually. Hindi as we call it. हम लोग गेड़ी मार रहे हैं. But okay, there is a purpose. Find a space, and we got a space
No, I don't
finally.
think so. I don't think so. I don't think
You
so.
don't think so?
Nope. You can pause that for a minute because if you would.
Yeah. Let's see if we can park in the small space. But okay. Congratulations बोलो भैया को हमें finally parking space मिल गया है. So nice. And I'm just getting out of the car. And here I ट्रांसपोर्ट कर दिया है. So the issue is यहाँ पे जितनी भी spaces खुली थी वो सब किसी ना किसी हैंडीकैप के लिए रिजर्व थी. तो अनलेस आपके पास हैंडीकैप कार है आप इस जगह पार्क नहीं कर सकते हो. बट ठीक है, फाइनली वी गॉट अ स्पेस विच वॉज नॉट रिजर्व एंड वी आर हेयर. सो राइट, लेट मी स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग द सिटी. The parking is a paid parking spot. You have to print a ticket when you start parking. Oh, otherwise the parking is $2.3 per hour. Bus is $6.9 per hour, and the car is there. So if you stay here more than 3 hours, then it's you can get fined.
I don't see any sign.
Yeah. So the thing is, a lady came and she just told us that the parking is free today, which is amazing because I think we are going to save around $10 because we want to park around for 5 years here.
So pay, like, you can go anywhere from $50 to $100. It just depends.
So you mind sharing, like, how do they calculate how many hours have we parked here?
So you have to. The parking meter is digital,
Okay.
and it is linked. You put the parking zone, and then you put your license plate in, and then from the time you start, you do
Okay.
the maximum amount of time, and then once the meter runs out, if you don't renew it in time, you get a ticket.
Okay. So is there a GPS or something that is in your car which with which the parking meter is going to detect that your car is
it's
still
an app. Yeah, it's an app, and when you're close to your time running out, then you
Okay.
get a notification, and you have to pay more money.
No, how would they know that your
the car is still
parked or
standing there
not
because it might
Okay,
be
so
possible.
you see the number right there on the
Right.
green number.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is linked to you select that zone,
Okay.
then you select your tag.
Okay.
So yeah, don't get people's tag.
Yeah.
So once you select your tag, when they realize that they get notifications of when the expired meter for you, and then you get a fine.
Okay.
So like right now it's 3 hours, and when that 3 hours is up, if I haven't renewed it, then they come and they can give me a ticket.
Okay. So they will
They
get to
can
know,
come and they can give you that.
or they will
That's not
for sure get
yeah.
to know that you are standing there, or they can come and check it just that.
They'll it's either one or I don't know what their system is,
Okay.
but like all I know is that if you don't pay that meter, you're
Okay.
subject to a fine.
Okay. So basically, they don't have a device in there which will for sure
Not
detect.
true.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
if they do or not.
So
You know?
possibly that they don't have a device in there which detects whether the car is nearby or not, but maybe there is a device. My host is not sure about it, but I'll definitely Google about it once I get home to know how do they detect if the car is still there or not. But mostly, like, if the officials come and they see that okay, the car is there but the time has expired and it's not renewed, so they can come and they can fine the car owners for that. So yeah, that's about it. But okay, for now it's good that we have found a spot today and the parking is free for today. I don't know what's the reason of free parking today, but it's nice to have free parking, and then we can now explore the city and the monument and whatever our plans are now.